Kanye that got manipulated into the dark side. You know, the evil empire. Yep. Kanye has now left the evil empire and came over to the Rebel Alliance. The empire is out to get him. Darth Vader's gonna cut his fucking hand off.
My family have been destroyed by Satan.
To most people in the world right now, the name Kardashian is almost synonymous to drama and controversy. But the new revelation about Kim and her family takes things to an entirely new level. If you've been paying attention to the family as a whole, particularly Kim, you'd have probably noticed a pattern in the men she's been with. But it seems she might have bitten more than she can chew with Kanye, as the rapper appears to be on a revealing spree. And let's just say the evidence isn't looking too good for Kim. Is it a curse, or is it just coincidence? Either way, everyone is certain that there's always been something fishy about the Kardashians from the onset. From their incredible influence all the way to their amazing looks, the Kardashian women have been the dream for many young men, and the ones that have actually been with them. There's been a pattern. Although there's no scientific evidence that the curse is real, the fact that the list of men, Kanye West being the latest addition, only gets longer continues to add to its folklore. Of course, Kylie Jenner acknowledging the fan-created theory didn't help quash it. Now, normally, all of this could be written off as baseless rumors, but looking at the pattern of Kim's relationships over the past couple of years, it's obvious that the beauty queen might have been more than a little sketchy. Don't believe me? Let's start with her relationship with Kris Humphries. The former NBA player and Kim started dating in October 2010 and would get engaged only 7 months later. 3 months later, they married in an over-the-top televised ceremony. Perhaps they should have slowed down, as the KKW beauty founder filed for divorce fewer than 3 months later, which reportedly left Humphries feeling bummed. In fact, shortly after the whole thing hit the media, the public started to call it the 72-day marriage that will live in infamy. Looking back at it now doesn't really make much sense for a marriage to have only lasted 3 months. That is, unless of course there was more to it. Well, according to fans, the courtship appeared to be doomed from the beginning, as Humphries didn't make a great impression on keeping up with the Kardashians, and following the divorce, the vitriol only got worse. This basically tells you he was pulled because he didn't exactly fit into the Kardashian space. But guess who did? Kanye. What is the Kardashian space, you ask? It seems to be where satanic rituals and blood sacrifices are the order of the day. At least that's what Kim Kardashian's former nanny revealed to the world. Shocking, isn't it? Nancy Jacobson was hired by the Kardashian West household after training as a midwife in London and working for the English royal family. She lasted just under 6 months in the celebrity household before being fired. Nancy claims she overheard Kim speaking to her sister Khloe about her plan to consume the placenta. I heard her planning this over a month ago. Khloe seemed confused and slightly weirded out by the details until Kim told her that it was a way of asserting dominance over the baby. And I kind of understand why she'd want to do that now, because sometimes this baby looks completely terrifying. Don't get me wrong, sometimes the baby looks cute and nice, but at other times, he barely looks human. But that's not the only horrible revelation that came from the former nanny. She also revealed some about why Kanye happens to be the longest person to have stayed with Kim. When asked what Kanye thought about Kim eating her placenta, Nancy said that he was cool with it. Apparently, his own mother ate her placenta, and Kanye has been heard bragging that my mama's placenta was the best tasting and most nutritious placenta in history. Whether Kanye is aware of Kim's dark witch ritual remains open to speculation. However, Nancy believes he might be oblivious. Kanye is a real sweetheart, she said. He's happiest when he's in the house designing water bottles, leather jogging pants, or obsessing over other people's designs. The first time I met him, he was holding up a towel and ranting passionately about how he wishes he invented it. The towel is such a flawless design. I won't hear a bad word said about Kanye.
I believe that I suffered from exhaustion. I suffered from being lied to constantly by the people around me, by my management.
But Nancy fears Kim is leading Kanye down a dark path. Kanye West is being forced to become president by Illuminati witch Kim Kardashian. Kanye is a sweetheart, according to former nanny Nancy Jacobson, but he's being led down a very dark path. All this talk of Kanye running for president, he wasn't interested in politics at all until Kim started mind controlling him. I don't want to say too much about that right now. I'm going to talk more about it in my book. That's right, Nancy Jenkinson is writing a tell-all about her time in the celebrity household, joining the likes of Pam Behan as former Kardashian nanny who has come forward to spill the beans on her former employers. "I'm just glad to be out of that place," she said. "I was beginning to fear for my safety. They have a jackal that has been given run of the house. Sometimes I think the jackal is actually the man of the house. The jackal is terrifying. When you look into his eyes, you can see he would kill a man, woman, or child with as little concern as I'd have swatting a fly." Well, for Kanye, it seems that stepping out of the Kardashian space might have changed his whole life.
Why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Controversy continues to follow the rapper, and his most recent track record of incidents began with his Yeezy Season 9 show at the beginning of October. His new line of clothing included shirts with White Lives Matter printed on the back, a phrase used primarily by white supremacists as a response to the Black Lives Matter movement. Kanye doubled down on his statement on Instagram, writing, "Everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome." This post resulted in his account being banned from Instagram. Just a few days later, however, Kanye made a return to his Twitter, which has remained inactive since his 2020 presidential run. In a series of tweets, Kanye made several comments against Jews, accusing them of having control over rapper Diddy, and ultimately climaxing with him claiming that he plans to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. This action led to the removal of West's Twitter account, and neither Twitter nor Instagram has reinstated his accounts since the incident. His tirade continued when he did an interview with conservative public commentator Tucker Carlson, where he made comments which were unaired of his claiming that Planned Parenthood was a conspiracy to control black people. After this, Kanye turned to Drink Champs, a popular podcast that he also appeared on in November of 2021. In this episode, Kanye made incredibly bold and controversial statements. West claimed that he was being targeted by Jewish media and that George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose, not police brutality.
They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that.
This string of actions has caused massive repercussions for the artist. Many of his peers and fellow celebrities have denounced his actions and will likely no longer continue to support or work with West. Likely, the biggest loss for Kanye was the cutting of all ties with Balenciaga, the high-end fashion brand which he has made numerous collaborations with. However, the single prevailing factor in all these details is that the series of events started to happen as soon as Kanye decided he was done with the Kardashians. And while most of the talks on why he made these moves have been related to his mental health issues, Kanye himself has alluded that all of this might have been an effect of him stepping out of the Kardashian household. According to reports, West has released another ominous poem that seems to make a reference to his music career, the media attention, and his recent controversial divorce with Kim Kardashian. The 44-year-old rapper titled his new poem Dead on Tuesday, following his previous release titled Divorce. And this time, Kanye talks about not realizing he is deceased. "No one wanted to tell me I was dead, and only people that would talk to me were in my head," the singer continues in the poem. "No one wanted to tell me I was dead, only people who loved me visit in their dreams instead." And about his divorce from the famous Kardashian and his family life, Kanye wrote, "My kids would dance for me in a home I once led." He then concluded the poem by detailing his perspective on death. "I found out one day at the newsstand in Purgatory, there was a front page article of my murderer's story." Kanye wrote, "I was so surprised at what it said. This info is for the living, and surprise, you're dead." The musician wants the poem to speak for itself, as he revealed on social media that explanation destroys the mystery and magic of true love and puts it in a box that can be counted. He recently said he shouldn't have to justify his expression after over 20 years of art that have contributed to the planet. No one is exactly sure what Kanye went through while he was married to Kim Kardashian, but one thing that is obvious is that he has never remained the same ever since. I'm no expert, but that right there is enough proof that the Kardashians are probably involved in some shady things. But as with all controversies, only time will tell. That's it for this video. Goodbye.